well, they ain't let him do this. Cause that's what they did with Obama now. No, you know how they do, they ain't let him. Yo, 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 yo. My name is Craig and welcome to Craig's Division. And this is just a channel where I just share my thoughts on videos that I like. I mean, I'm just here to vibe and keep it real. If you like it, hit the like button. If you want to stick around, go ahead and subscribe and join my visionaries. Now let's get into it. Okay, so today's video we have a conservative woman who is doing some commentary to Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance. I'm not really familiar with the symbolism that people were talking about, but hey, let's get into it and find out.
Kendrick Lamar's halftime show at this year's Super Bowl featured no nudity, no revealing outfits, no cussing, and no notable symbols that could be seen as signs of Satanism, which you would be surprised is on a number of people's checklist for things you have to look out for at these things. Take this article that went viral over the past month. It's called The Cruel Kids Table, and it has a picture from a pro-Trump event. It was published in The New Yorker. And when this came out, conservatives were like, oh my gosh, we've made it.
I'm not even familiar with that, bro. That's the crazy part about it. I have no idea that was even a thing. I'm so out of the loop, man. What the world?
Entire piece is mocking them. And yet you had people like Greg Price coming on social media and just completely, it went right over their heads. He wrote, I love this specular media fail for so many reasons, chief among them being it illustrates how the left is so unbelievably defeated, not just politically, but to the point that being conservative is now associated with the cool, fun, attractive, well put together crowd.
See, I didn't even know that people were trying to be conservative to be cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. I always thought that, Republicans or conservatives were just racist. That's how I grew up until I went to college.
Does Walnut recognize that a very large percentage of the NFL is black? So I don't think having a black performer would be considered a DEI hire. Also, let's not forget the fact that after the whole Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, like bra episode, we had, I think, 5, 6, 7 years of very old, very dated white guys perform. It was like,
Are we saying that Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance was like part of DEI in real sense? The dude had like the biggest song in the world. Like that's usually who gets to do those performances. The person who got the biggest song. So I feel like those are false claims. But let's keep going.
Kendrick was rapping for like 10 minutes straight, which takes an incredible amount of talent to do, especially while you are actively moving around. It had tons of dancing, tons of choreography. The view from overhead was really interesting and intricate. There was also a lot of political commentary going on beneath the surface. Like,
They did have that I seen a video of that guy that had like the Palestine flag running across the field and jump like that. And all the guys going there and tackling him. That shit was funny, bro. Cause I was like, what was he thinking? Dude, I feel like there's a time and place for everything. And I mean, I guess from that point of view, it's the world watching. So and I think a lot of times now, like, I'm gonna do a commentary on like some war videos later too. And those guys are funding the war off of like how many YouTube video views they get. They're really funding the war through like YouTube pages. Like, you know what I mean? So let's keep going though, man.
is black. So I don't think having a black performer would be considered a DEI hire. Matt Walsh said, bold decision to hire a halftime performer who doesn't actually perform.
Every year people complain about, oh, they didn't dance enough. Unless it's like Beyonce. She always perform and kind of show out. You know what I mean? But I guess that's Beyonce problem. That's all I can say. I mean, what you expect people to come out there and do? You expect the rapper to come out there with choreographed moves, like, you know what I mean? Rock and roll stars don't even do that. They just come out there and play their guitar.
What do you mean doesn't actually perform? As you can see, this performance really broke.
See, this is what I want to get into because I want to know what. I mean, I seen the flag, but what did it mean? You know what I mean? I thought they was just doing that because Donald Trump was there. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I am so ignorant to that because I literally thought that's what it was. But let's see. Let me find out.
Walsh's brain, he went on an entire Twitter diatribe writing, bizarre decision by the NFL to have some guy come out and lethargically mumble a bunch of songs that 90% of the NFL audience has never heard. They Not Like Us is like the rap battle song to defeat all rap battle songs. Like, this is an iconic song. It's completely taken down the career of arguably the next biggest star, which is Drake. Ben Shapiro said, my halftime show review, actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying, but I just will say this, good luck and live in peace, which he's quoting Trump in a embarrassing media interview from earlier this month, where a reporter from another country tried to ask him questions in English, and because he couldn't understand her, he responded like that.
Expectation from you. Do you have any plan to change Afghanistan situation? Are you able to recognize Taliban? Because I'm an Afghan journalist, Afghan suffered woman. Any comment about Afghanistan? What's your future plan for Afghan people, especially Afghanistan?
I have a little hard time understanding you. Where are you from? Actually,
Man, come on, bro. At least he was being honest. You know what though? One thing I can't agree about is the fact that regardless of what you feel about him, this mug is doing everything that he said he was gonna do, good or bad, regardless of how you feel about it. Man, I personally feel like no other president will ever be able to get in that White House and then have the public say, "Well, you know, they ain't let him do this," because that's what they did with Obama now. Like, I remember that. Like, when I was like, man, shit, Obama ain't getting no black people no bills. And they were like, well, you know how they do. You know, they ain't let him. Trump trying everything, even the stuff that is probably ain't even gonna go through because it sounds so crazy. Like trying to change like birthright citizenship. Like, that's wild. There's no way that's going through. But my personal opinion is that no president after this will ever be able to say, well, they ain't let him. Like, that ain't let him bullshit is gone now.
it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying. I just say this, good luck, live in peace.
I thought Amala Ekpanobi's take on this performance was really great.
And thinking, I'm going to find another conservative dogging on Kendrick Lamar, not me. Where is she? I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I can appreciate somebody who may be sharing a message that I disagree with, but is doing it fantastically.
The novelty of being able.
What was the message? Like, after this, I'm going to go look and find out what that message is. Because I don't know. Like, what was the message? Uncle Sam? Because I feel like they were trying to say, like, with Samuel Jackson in the Uncle Sam suit. I think they were trying to say he was like Uncle Tom. But it's an Uncle Sam suit. It ain't Uncle Tom. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But let's keep going.
I think it went right over their heads as much as the next group I want to talk about. And like many of them have loudly aired, they couldn't understand the words. They didn't know what he was saying. So I guess they weren't really able to critique anything other than the fact that there was a Black person performing at the Super Bowl who was not wearing a MAGA hat, because that would have made all the difference.
I'm about to say something. And this is my personal opinion, right? I feel like all the people that believe that race still plays a factor in where you're going, I think y'all batshit crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all lost y'all everlasting mind. It's too much money to be floating around for somebody to oppress a whole race of people will economically destroy rich people. And ain't for anybody that makes money, that makes 0 sense. I don't hate anybody enough to where I will bankrupt my company for you. Like, that is ridiculous. So I feel like, which I kind of thought that's what she was kind of going with this video when she was saying there was some wild kind of comments, like obtuse when she used those words. But let's keep going. Maybe she'll get to it.
We are so back. Finally, NFL joins in celebrating U.S. flag instead of disrespecting during halftime. Pardon me if he said something offensive, but the flag display by the performers was amazing. I didn't pay attention to lyrics. Cheese and rice.
So that ain't what happened? That wasn't? Lord have mercy. I gotta know what these secret messages are. What is the point? What is a Black Samuel L. Jackson in an Uncle Sam suit? What does that represent? What does that symbolize? black people dressed up in the colors of the American flag. What are we symbolizing here? Like, you know what I mean? Because I thought it was patriotism. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I thought it was just like, you know what I mean? Let's set all we did was decide we all American. That's what I thought it was about.
I knew from the minute that he brought out Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam that this was going to be very interesting commentary. For those of you who don't know, Samuel L. Jackson was a very well known and visible political activist at Morehouse College here in Atlanta during his youth. He ended up being a pallbearer in Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral. Like, he has a history of advocacy around civil rights, around nonviolent civil disobedience, which is also my theory of change that I share with Martin Luther King Jr. I have a whole video on that. I will link in the show notes if you want to dig into that further. But like, this is somebody who is a very intentional activist and who.
Now we getting into it. Okay. So I did not know that. I did not know any of that. But I have to say that I don't feel like that whole DEI situation, I don't feel like it's a black person problem. There is some issues that we gotta handle, but I don't think DEI is us. I feel like we're already through that threshold. Because somebody asked me this one time, how have you benefit from it in any way, shape, or form? And I don't think I've ever gotten a job or anything like that because of DEI. Matter of fact, I honestly don't think that I would want a job if somebody told me that I was there because of DEI. I want my job to mean something. I don't want to be in the place because, oh, we needed the black dude over there, so that just ain't my thing. But I guess, people have they fight. People fight for what they feel like they need to fight for. And if you feel like you need DEI because you won't be able to get a job if black something, I don't know. Like, if that's how you feel, I mean, who's to say that you wrong? You know what I mean? So I feel you.
The revolution is about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. Which is a play off of Jill Scott Heron's The Revolution Will Not Be Televised song, which was a critique on the American media, saying that they only focused on propaganda, consumerism, and entertainment. But in order for real change, people had to step out of their homes for liberation, for protest, and for freedom. You had to be actively involved in order to fight for justice. So with Kendrick saying the revolution will be televised, you chose the right time but the wrong guy, is him saying that you chose the perfect person for this performance. The timing couldn't be more perfect.
Okay. So I don't think that enough black people will get involved in something like that. Even when those type of groups are formed, there's like tension inside the group. And it's always about money, bro. If there's nothing in it for me, what am I doing it for? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that black people help each other out like that. So I kind of feel like I get it, Kendrick, but man, ain't gonna win that fight, bro. It's about the money. Like, it's always about the money. It's always about the money. Period.
Too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Kendrick Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up. And this is clear conditioning within white supremacy and America, which is that black people should be docile, black people should be quiet, black people should be grateful for scraps.
Great scraps. I personally believe that if you were to take a slave and put them in, let's say, a 1801 slave, and put them in Jim Crow, they would feel like times have gotten better. If you take a person from Jim Crow and put them in 1956, 1963, 1968, they'll feel like times are better. If you take Martin Luther King, put him in 2025, he'll think life was better. If you put one of us in 2075, we gonna feel like life is better. But I also guarantee that somebody in 2075 will be still complaining about how stuff is not equal. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's always going to be that element of somebody feeling like they ain't good enough because, I mean, there's always going to be some white person that don't like black people or some black person that don't like white. There's always going to be that element. But at some point, like, it doesn't matter enough we are too valuable economically for them to try to like revert to like some type of slavery type of junk. And then on top of that, who the fuck is going back, bro? Like who? So, but that's enough for that video today. Let me know what y'all think. If you like that video, go ahead and drop a like. If you want to stick around, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And I'm out of here.